Influencers are a new breed of celebrity. But just because they're celebrities, sort of, that doesn't mean that they aren't regular people too. Regular people who make mistakes and get into trouble with the law. Buckle up, I'm about to count down the top 10 influencers who went to jail for crimes you won't believe! Here for you on IO. What is gravy, people? You are watching IO. I'm Charlotte. If you're new here on this channel, we bring you a daily medley of trending content, spilled tea, and viral news updates hosted by people you might actually want to be friends with. Except Johnny. No one wants to be friends with Johnny. That's a joke, I love Johnny. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and follow the IO team on Instagram and Twitter so we can connect outside of YouTube. Alright, enough idle chit chat, let's get into this list, and trust me when I say it is a doozy of a list. There have been plenty of instances of influencers going to jail, but I stuck to only the most outrageous stories for this one. For your viewing pleasure. Yes. Starting off our list at number 10, Radojka Kekman. Radojka is a Serbian influencer and Instagram personality with 21,000 followers, and she became famous in Serbia for her Insta clout. She was often photographed with famous local music and film personalities. But Radojka was thrown in jail for possessing 2 assault rifles. Not shocking enough, you say? Well, that was just the first raid. The second raid occurred at the house of her friend Svetozar, where police confiscated dozens of guns and ammunition. What does an influencer need all those guns for, you might ask? Reports claim they were not only storing the rifles, they were storing them for a powerful Montenegro gang called the Skladar clan. Authorities say that Radojka was part of a organized crime group who were afraid that she was going to reveal everything she knew about them while in custody. She was held for 30 days and was charged with manufacturing, possessing, and trafficking illegal weaponry. Sliding into the number 9 spot, Suhail Al-Jamil. Suhail is a popular gay influencer with over 170,000 followers on Twitter. But back in October of 2019, he was arrested in Saudi Arabia after he posted a shirtless selfie to social media. Just shirtless. He was also wearing leopard print shorts. This is the photo. He explained on Snapchat that he was arrested for wearing shorts at a beach and later charged with sharing nude photos online. He wrote on Twitter in 2019, LGBTQ are not welcome in Saudi Arabia. You must live in secret and can't live in peace. You want tourism, but you won't give us freedoms. Saudi Arabia implemented 2 new rules on public decency after they finally opened up the country to tourists for the first time. Men and women are required by law to dress modestly, covering shoulders and knees in public, and Suhail is currently awaiting trial and faces 3 years in prison for posting a selfie wearing shorts. And at number 8 on our list, we got Mercedes' mom. Mercedes' mom, aka Margarita Tomovska, would post various photos to her now deleted Instagram account that showed her making a mockery of the NSW justice system, sometimes posting videos that showed her blatantly breaking the law. Back in 2018, Margarita led police on a high-speed chase at more than 230 kilometers an hour. To make matters worse, she had an unrestrained child in the back seat of her Mercedes. She told police that she was speeding because she was under duress and was terrified of the man that was sitting next to her in the car. That man was Christopher King, and police were tipped off that he was inside the car and could have been armed. The claim, however, did not hold up in court. She was sentenced to 18 months in jail and denied bail after another judge said it was only by the grace of God that no one was killed. And at lucky number 7 on our list, we got Anna Sorokin. From her Instagram account, the Anna Delvey, it seemed like she had the most glamorous lifestyle in the world that anyone in their right mind would be jealous of. She lived in some of the most luxurious boutique hotels in the world, she wore the fanciest clothes, and she entertained celebrities and socialites. But Anna Sorokin was a Russian immigrant posing as a German heiress, and she claimed she had a 60 million euro trust fund that was stashed away in overseas banks. Playing Anna Sorokin was something she did for years. She conned her way through New York, getting her friends to pay for trips they took together, somehow always forgetting to pay them back. I love those friends. Then in 2017, she was arrested on 6 charges of grand larceny after scamming business acquaintances and luxury hotels for a total amount of $275,000. She was sentenced to 4 to 12 years in prison. Some of that time she spent at Rikers Island in New York, but she's now serving her sentence at the Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we got Melina Robarge. Melina Robarge is known to the Australian media as Cocaine Babe, and that nickname wasn't given lightly. She was known to the Instagram world for her extravagant lifestyle. She was regularly on luxurious trips for free. In July of 2016, she accepted a free trip on the cruise ship the Sea Princess. Hey, I've been on the Sea Princess, that's weird. I used to cruise a lot with my family when I was a kid. Anyways, okay, so her sugar daddy gave her a trip on the Sea Princess for free, and that stopped in places all along the southern hemisphere like Peru, Colombia, New Zealand, and Australia. But when she docked in Australia, she and her 2 friends were arrested for importing 209 pounds of cocaine into the country in their luggage. And that was something she was paid $100,000 to do as part of an international drug smuggling operation. She and her 2 friends pleaded guilty, and Melina was sentenced to 8 years. Halfway there now, at number 5, we got Rossi Loretio Addams II. That's a name for ya. Rossi, also known by Polo, founded the social media company State Snaps while he was a student. At one point, he had almost 1 million followers on his accounts, which mostly consisted of people being filmed drunk or engaging in crude behavior. But back in April of 2019, Rossi was convicted of conspiracy to interfere with commerce by force, threats, and violence. Alright, so what did he do? He tried to purchase the internet domain doitforstate.com, a slogan his business became associated with. But doitforstate.com was already owned, and the person who owned it refused to sell it. So then he threatened the owner's friend with gun emojis. He then got his cousin, Sherman Hopkins Jr., a convicted felon, to break into the domain owner's home and force him at gunpoint to hand over the domain doitforstate.com to Polo. Well, that escalated quickly. Hopkins was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Addams is in custody and is currently awaiting sentencing at the time of this recording, but he also faces 20 years. All for a domain name, eh? Alright, coming to the number 4 slot, Tammy Stefan. Tammy Stefan was a fitness influencer from Florida. Of course she's from Florida. Whose business, Beyond Fit Bikini, included training and coaching bodybuilders and bikini competitors. She was sentenced to almost 5 years in federal jail after she pleaded guilty to charges of cyber stalking and sending threats to people online, including her colleagues and competitors in the fitness community. Tammy used 369 different accounts to threaten and harass people on Instagram. According to an investigation, she called, texted, emailed, and contacted at least 6 people over the course of 2 years. She made various threats against people's lives, attempted to discredit the reputation of her peers, and even told one of the victims that she would, quote, slice them up into little pieces. But it gets worse. Oh yes it does. Authorities think that she could have been linked to 2 separate incidents in July of 2018 that she tried to frame a colleague for. The first, she reported to police that a headless doll was left on her porch with a note that read, "New toy for the kids." And the second, 5 days after that last incident, she reported to police that someone tried to kidnap her daughter, something she also tried to blame on a colleague. And at number 3 on our list, we got Nabila Bennett. Nabila is a reality TV star known as the French Kim Kardashian. Back in 2014, she was arrested and held in custody for several weeks for stabbing her boyfriend Thomas Vergara in the chest when they were arguing. Thomas was found in a pool of blood with wounds in his chest. At the time, she faced 30 years in prison for attempted murder. She was sentenced to 6 months only, but avoided prison time because of the French system of penalty adjustments, and her boyfriend ended up reconciling before the trial. She and Thomas announced in April of 2019 that they were expecting their first child. Well, if that's not the most French thing I've ever heard. Getting close now, at number 2, we got Canhua Ren, also known as Reset. Ren is a Spanish YouTube influencer with 1.2 million subs who went viral in 2017 for a video that shows him offering a homeless man Oreos stuffed with toothpaste, along with some cash. He told his followers, "Maybe I went a little far, but let's look at the positive side. It will help him clean his teeth. I don't think he has often brushed his teeth since he became poor." Obviously, this homeless man threw up when he ate the Oreos, and the video sparked international criticism, which forced Ren to return to the homeless man and give him more money in a new video. He showed very little remorse for this blatant act of disrespect, and Ren was sentenced to 15 months in jail and ordered to pay 20,000 euros in compensation to the victim. And he's not allowed to post to YouTube for 5 years. And at number 1 on our list, we have Wyatt Pest. Wyatt was yet another influencer on our list who boasted a lavish and crazy lifestyle on social media. He was known as Young 10X on Instagram and would regularly take photos with stacks of money and expensive cars. He told his followers he made his fortune through smart investment strategies, but there was a lot going on behind the facade. In reality, he and his associates bought fentanyl online from China, processed it in a secret lab, and disguised it as oxycodone. Not sure if you guys know about fentanyl, but that stuff is not something you want to play around with. The smallest amount can kill you, let alone an entire pill. Wyatt and his associates turned out to be the instigators of the opioid crisis. Needless to say, he was eventually arrested after selling massive quantities of the pills across the US. Police seized 100,000 pills, a stack of fentanyl, and cashed. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy and other charges. Wyatt will spend the next 17 years behind bars for his blatant disregard for human life. Alright, that was a doozy, man. That was a lot. That was a lot. I feel really good about my life. Tell me your thoughts on this one down in the comments. Which was the craziest story on this list? For now, I'm gonna respond to some comments from our video. Influencer gets 4 years in prison for crime you won't believe. Demonic Angel said, "Oof, I love Charlotte's voice though."
Do you love my voice? Yes, people tell me that I should do ASMR. Salad fingers. the nettles.
True Dad said, keep the tea coming, Charlotte. Yes, I shall. I will keep it pouring. Nora's story said, I don't know why, but you remind me of cheeseburgers. That is the nicest thing that anyone has ever said about me. Thank you. Alright, that is it for me. Stick around for some bonus content if you're interested. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want a part 2 down in the comments. And subscribe so you never miss one of my videos. There have been I feel like my eyelash is coming off. Suhail too. I tried this like magnetic eyelash shit and it's not working. It's not staying. It's a really long link. It's a really long link, honey. Hurry up, please. Alright. That's a lot of cocaine. That's a lot of blow.
The British accent.
So creepy.
What you say, the medals?
You guys ever seen Salad Fingers?
No.
You've never seen Salad? Oh my god, that is like original YouTube. Original.
I like rusty spoons.